Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host, Advocate Tulo Hoyani. Over the last few days, we have discussed the Senzo Meyiwa trial. The problems around it and all these main two dockets that we see. And a lot of you have, given me a lot of feedback to say, but what must be done about this? You see, the existence of two dockets is unprecedented in the history of criminal investigation in South Africa. Just how two dockets came into existence and one was eventually abandoned just puzzles me. Perhaps the people who must provide answers to this are the South African police services themselves, together with the prosecution. Gininda, Brigadier Gininda, the lead investigator in the Senzo Meyiwa trial or investigation, must give us an explanation of how this came about, because Gininda was in charge of the whole process. Gininda undertook an investigation, or at least the South African police services undertook an investigation that identified the people in the house as the possible suspects in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, including Kelly Kumalo, who is supposedly the mastermind behind it all. Now, it is up to Gininda to explain this. He owes the nation an explanation of how this came about. It is no good for Gininda to say, oh, well, this was a prosecution-driven investigation, and therefore the prosecutors had a final say into what, how they eventually deal with this matter, or what docket eventually gets pursued to court. He must explain what happened. Who took the decision? Okay, granted, he says this is a prosecution-led investigation and it is the prosecutors who had the final say as far as who is supposed to be charged is concerned, right? Gininda, which prosecutor took that decision? We only have the evidence of Baloyi, the lead prosecutor in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, who said before court that that other docket which implicates the people in the house was of no value and it could not help the court in any way. But before the matter got to court, or before the matter was taken to court, or this is the procedure that must be followed. Once the police have finished investigations into a criminal matter, they then take that docket, that completed docket, to the prosecutors. The prosecutors will then peruse it and then draft the necessary charges. And whoever is involved in that docket or is implicated in that docket will then face charges depending on what the police investigations have revealed. Now, how you have a police docket that says the people in the house were implicated in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa and abandon that docket? Which prosecutor, Gininda, who were you talking to? Who is the prosecutor that told you that, who made the final decision? We have just said it was a prosecution rather, driven investigation. Which prosecutor or which prosecutors abandoned the docket that implicates the people in the house? And why? And why? Did you ask them why they were abandoning this? Because you had undertaken an investigation that had identified culprits. What did you say when they said, no, they are just abandoning this docket? What did you say? Because, compiling a docket takes a lot of time and a lot of state resources are consumed by investigations. So Gininda is the man that we must focus on from today. He must identify the prosecutors who told him that the docket implicating rather the people in the house must be abandoned. Once we get to the bottom of that, then we'll see what is happening in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Once we can get to those people, they will have to explain. Because the one thing that they have to explain is, how do you abandon a docket that discloses suspects? A docket has been undertaken by the police, discloses certain people as suspects, and you just abandon that docket. How is that possible? This is the way we must go. I am very encouraged by all the comments that are coming up. Everybody is in support of this initiative, and I am looking forward to pursuing this matter, come what may. We need to ensure that the legal system in this country works for everybody. And it must work for Senzo Meyiwa. It must work for the Meyiwa family. We cannot just let these things just go away as if nothing has happened. Senzo's life matters. The Meyiwa family's grief matters. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for the views that I'm seeing. And thank you very much for the subscriptions that I'm seeing. Let us grow this initiative. And with your support, with you behind me, I am sure that we are going to make this a success and we'll get to the bottom of this, no matter how difficult it is going to be. But for the sake of the late Senzo and the Meyiwa family, his mother, we must get to the bottom of this. Please send in your comments and let me see what you think about this video and the initiative going forward from here. And please kindly subscribe and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much.